Good morning, everybody. So I will talk about the new version of Theracast, which is coming at the beginning of next year. So technically, the message will be roughly the same as Laetitia just sent to you about the fact that we take into account the needs from the customer in order to improve the version with respect to your demand. So to do that, we have talked internally and work a lot in the different features we will add and improve from the previous version of Theracast in order to create the new one. So I will present you the features that I have classified in two categories. The first one is features, in the general point of view. And the second one is the features regarding the graphical user interface that has been specially implemented in order to fit your needs. Then the roadmap and for the version coming after this next one. Okay, so regarding the features, so as I was saying, we have developed new features that are coming from what we have previously planned in the roadmap, and also a response to your demands that came in between these last two versions. And we will also talk about improved features, meaning the features that were already available in the previous version, but we have improved in order to go faster and or to get better results. So as I was saying, this is just to meet your needs. So this is a list of features that it will be available in the next version. So it's maybe not exhaustive. It depends if we have time to add others in the time we have planned for the development. So I have classified in two lists here, the left-hand side of the slides and the right-hand side. So the right-hand side is not presented precisely within this presentation. A few words anyway. The two first point is a tool dedicated to the meshing regarding the fact that if you have the geometry of the part but not the mold, you can create the mold around this geometry. And at the opposite, you have the mold geometry but not the part geometry. You can create the negative of the mold in order to have the geometry of the cavity where the alloy will fulfill the mold. So very interesting features. So this is without, going back to the CAD software. The third point is regarding the temperature for the ignition of the reaction in the exothermic powder. So now you have a trigger value from which the reaction will begin, and no more only time that it will only, I would say, available in the previous version. And the same way regarding the driving of the thermal cycling, now it's possible to pilot the opening of the mold in order to check out the part at a given temperature, so from also a trigger value. So technically, the time of the checkout will be a result of the computation and no more an input, so which is really interesting. In order to optimize thermal cycling, in its globality. So I will go to the feature here. So we had already in the previous version the capability to take into account the radiation between different bodies in a cooling system. But it was quite, I would say, heavy to use it, especially in terms of CPU time. So we have worked a lot on this specific feature in order to really go faster and to get a drastic drop of CPU time. So the work has been focused on the automatic management of the infinite temperature, meaning that we take into account the ambient exchange even though the bodies are not taken into account. So technically the walls of rooms or a furnace that are not necessary to take into account in terms of geometries, but they are as well taken into account in terms of impact through the temperature. We have a very better view factor calculation, and a very important point to notice is very fast now, which meaning that it's almost neglectable compared to the rest of the computation. And this is leading to the fact that now it could be applied on industrial case very easily. So, for example, in investment casting, furnace also, if you want to take into account heat treatment, and in the cooling system. So, for example, this is an example where you have a cooling system with different ingots cast at the same time on a plate. Then you can see on the screen the effect on each one to the neighborhood. So it's not symmetric, and the result will not be symmetric at the end because of the radiation in between the ingot. So that can be also taken. Okay, so this is quite technical. Sorry, I'm going too fast. Okay. The thing is, it could be ingot into furnace or whatever in the case of instruments. So this is really interesting. Regarding the inclusion manager, so we have added this feature now in the solution, leading you to monitor and track particles into the cooling system. So the trajectory of particles that can be monitored within the liquid and also solid during the casting. So they can be very easily set up into the simulation. The model is assuming that the shape of the particles are spheres. So you need the density and the diameter, and then the computation is tracking the particle within the liquid and solid zone of the alloy. So the pilot, it can be driven by time, filling, temperature, and others. So as an example, for example, here we have developed or test a case where we have a square box in which we have a fluid flow like this. So with jet coming from the right, quite, smooth, and from the left quite strong. Then you have this kind of trajectories into the fluid, and associated to this we have set up bubbles. Okay. Okay. So the bubbles are driven in time in that case with different size, and then we can see that how, depending on the time and the size of the bubbles, they are transported into the fluid with the left side fluid flow. So as you see, the bubbles are quite free to move, but depending on the size and the time. And on the right, you have another kind of application. So this is an aluminum semi-continuous casting example where we have also particles that are released in time, and you can see how they have been transported into the fluid until reaching the solid part, and then at the end you have the position and the location of this particle at the end of the process, so into the final product. Okay, another feature that has been added in this new version is the capability to pilot the injection of the metal into the mold through inlet that can be on different shapes, so sphere or cylinder with different orientation and size for sure. And one of the particularity of the inlet is that it can be dynamic. Dynamic meaning that it can move in time. So we can displace the injector or inlet into the volume of the cavity in order to pilot moving injection, which could be really interesting in a given case. So for example, in a casting setup, we have here So the setup of the tutorial that is already available into the version for a long time now, but in this new version we can fill it through an inlet. So place here on the top of the funnel. And then with this inlet you have this kind of filling, so which is rather different than what we used to have in the previous version, because the inlet was covering all the furnace surface. In that case it's just the cylinder defined on the top, and then you have a different way of filling, which is quite interesting. So you can see all the impact of this filling through this animation. Another possibility is to drive, for example, the filling of the container in terms of HPDC casting, and then we activate the piston which is filling the mold after his trajectory. So this is very interesting also, and this is possible because of the inlet definition. Okay, so next. Yes, so a new things also I would like to talk about is remeshing, so automatic remeshing, which name now is Force for fully optimized for computation efficiency. So actually it's not, technically speaking, a new feature, but I mentioned it's a new one because we have really worked hardly on this feature. So it's based on the AAA measure that was available in RAM3D and into the previous version, but it has been improved a lot, and now the fact is, to use it, you don't need to have a PhD in remeshing in order to use it, so it's really interesting. So what we can do with that is, for example, we can have this kind of filling, and thanks to the remeshing and automatically tracking of the flow front, you can really get access to very fine details into the fluid flow, and the fact is now very realistic. And here you have an illustration of what is about a mesh adaptation, because you can see easily through the mesh motion and adaptation how the filling is occurring. So this is a previous case you recognize, but through its mesh. So you see that the mesh is changing automatically during the filling time, and for sure this is the solver which is dealing with that, and no more the user. So it's very efficient, and I would say now you can really ease blindly with no expertise in meshing. Another feature in that case related to the continuous casting application is the fact that we have worked also a lot on this feature in order to decrease the CPU times. For those of you who are familiar with continuous casting computation, you know that if you want to take into account the whole caster from the top of the ingot to the bottom of the caster, in terms of thermomechanics application, the CPU time can be quite long. And now we have developed a feature that is very easy to set up by the user, which principle is to decompose the length of the caster in the different lengths, and the computation is passing from one to the other automatically, and we ensure the continuity of the computation from the previous computation to the next one through a transportation of a small slice on which we have all the result coming from the previous things. Then we have the continuity of the casting. And this is really efficient because, as you can see on the bottom of the slide, I've mentioned times. In the case of thermomechanics plus soft reduction computation on a wall caster, the initial computation lasted 7 weeks, and then which is quite long. With this new feature, it is only 5 days, so that could be now really exploitable in a production point of view. So an illustration of what he is doing actually. So we start from the top, and then you see that Each one is continuing from the previous one, and so this is a decomposition of the caster in 7 parts. And as you can see, the last one is a little bit longer because we have soft reduction zone in a straightening zone, and then in order to take into account this impact of the rolls on the slab, we need to have a longer length of this part, but it's possible with this option, and then we have a very efficient result at the end, because as I was mentioning, we divided the time almost by 10, more than 7 weeks, 5 days. Okay, anyway, the reduction of the time is very interesting, and now it could be industrially used even in thermomechanics point of view for the whole length of the caster. Another thing is that we have also taken into account the new version of the TTT module from Forge. So we have shared this feature between the two software, so Forge and Theracast. The fact is that we now are able to read and take into account the data coming from GEMAT Pro solution for the TTT data, and then we can now directly ensure the continuity between a casting and a forging operation, for example, while taking into account the residual stress and all the phases, so from the casting to the forging, and then heat treatment if we have to do that. Another thing is to take into account the filters. So for those of you who are familiar with the casting, foundry casting, you know that the filters are very important in the process in order to control the fluid flow and to clean the metal. So this is now able to do with this new version. And so I do not enter into detail regarding the setup, but you can here see the efficiency of the filter. So on the left side there is no filter, and then the fluid flow is quite turbulent. So not really a good thing for the quality of the final part, because you have the potential risk to entrap air and bubbles and particles, which I would say degrade the quality of the part, whereas on the right side you have the filter, so mentioned by the square, and you can see that when the fluid flow crosses the square, the velocity is very smaller, and then the fluid flow is very calm, and so there is no air entrapment and so on, and then the quality of the part is much better. So this is now possible to do this. We have also developed a new interface regarding the user scripts. So what we so-call the user scripts actually is equivalent to user routine in Forge, but in a different way in Theracast. Because with this interface you can have access to a dedicated language in order to create your own data you want to post-process. So don't be afraid, it's very easy to use, and the online help guide you very easily also. So this is something really interesting, because you can customize your own results by the capability to code some feature you want to have in the result of the computation. So we will also enrich the tutorial and the documentation in order to guide you to set up a different kind of casting. So tilt casting, HPDC, driven cooling casting, so for heat treatment, ingot system casting in order to see how we take into account the self-radiation between the ingot, for example, centrifugal casting and casting with inlet also. So, for example, this is an illustration of tilt casting that you will be able to do now with this new tutorial. So the principle of this process is to fulfill a part where you have the initial volume of material which is already into the setup, into the melting pot, and that by the rotation of the mold you fulfill the mold at the end. So you may have noticed that we can also drive the fact that the mold is not rotating with a constant value, but can be accelerated. So here at the end. So this is very easy to set up now, and you will be able to do it through the new dedicated tutorial. Another one which is also interesting to note is the capability to simulate the centrifugal casting. So here an example of a horizontal centrifugal casting, which purpose is to create tubes. So the principle is to inject material, so in that case is steel, into a rotating mold, which rotation is very high in order to place the alloy on the surface and create tubes. Okay, then this was an overview of the feature, and regarding the technical feature dedicated and developed especially in the post-processing, pre and post-processing, I will now introduce you these new features. So the first one, which is really interesting, is the fact that we have added into the pre-processing actually the capability to transform multi-domain in one shot. So if you import an assembly with many domains, and for example the units of the import is not the good one, you can directly make scaling on all the domain in one shot, which is really interesting, instead of doing it each one step by step. So that could be quite difficult. Here with the capability to select the list of objects you want to transform, it's made in one shot actually, so very interesting and efficient. Another one, this one is quite also interesting, is for example, if you have this process, which is tilt casting in investment casting process. So as you can see, we fulfill the mold by the rotation of the complete system of the different objects, which is very nice and which is representing reality actually. But the thing is, if you want to study precisely what, how the fluid flow is going into the mold, it's not that easy, because you need to reset the point of view each time. And so we have developed the possibility to change the point of view in order to fix the mold, and then you see the fluid flow very easily in that case. So it's exactly the same case, but with a different representation. And the left one is very easy to analyze compared to the right one. So also something very interesting. Another one, yes, this one is what we so-call custom action. So it's a possibility to do a list of manipulation on the post-processing in one shot. So here we have two kinds of features. So one is to track the metal front, and the other one is to track the shrinkage. So when you click on this button, you have in one shot a list of action realized automatically by the post-process. Instead of doing it by yourself click by click, here it's made automatically. And for example, after the computation, you can do this kind of animation actually in 2 clicks now. One, in order to set the point of view, so the fact that the mold are in transparency and you focus on the fluid flow. And the second click is just to launch the animation. So this is a HPDC computation. On the left side, you see what we so call the first step of the process. So when the melting pot is rotating in order to fulfill the tank, and then when this step is finished, we activate the second one on the right side, which is the filling of the mold by the piston trajectory. Then the second and third step of the HPDC, so we have the compaction steps, and then the ejection once this is an engine part is solidified, we can eject. So this is very easily to do it now with this new action. Another one which is also very interesting is this is in the pre-process is the capability to see if we have check and set up the correct cooling time regarding our heating regarding the cooling channel or heater in terms of thermal casting. So this is a low pressure die casting setup where if hello yes. So you can see the water channels that are activated in blue during the activated time in the process, and the heater which is in red. So we can manage both cooling part and heater part in the same process. So this case is gathering the two kind of setup. So you can see preview in the pre-processing how the cooling channel and when they are activated or not in order to see if the process is well designed. Okay. Yes, Python console is something which has been developed in order to make the post-process what we so-call a real post-process, meaning that you can manipulate the results coming from the software by yourself, meaning if you want to make addition or modification or of result by a combination of what is already computed, you can define new result by yourself. So for example, the Reynolds numbers, which is a combination of the viscosity, velocity, density, and temperature, and whatever, and type and size, sorry. So this is taken into account 3 or 4 different computed fields, and in order to get another one, so it is added at the end of the result by the using of the Python console. So I did not know, but it's already also available in Forge. If you are interested in doing this with Forge also. Okay, so regarding the roadmap, so just a few words. So this new version 2.0 is released next year, so roughly in March 2020. And a very important point to note is that it will be delivered only with the single interface, meaning that the old pre and post processing won't be delivered anymore. So neither GL Pre nor GL Innova will be available in this new version, so only the NXT interface. So keep in mind this point. And then, because we still are developing the different feature and added new feature for the next version, we are still working on dedicated on our specific points. So for example, the inclusion model will be also enriched in the future by the possibility to automatically create the particles, for example, coming from tears up in running system in terms of filling or other. Slag in continuous casting that creates inclusion due to the turbulency of the fluid flow in the primary cooling. So that will be also possible in futures. We are still working on segregation model in order to take into account especially the grains impact on the result. So typically the grain sedimentation and the grain structure during the casting. So this is mainly used and using in terms of big size of ingot, where we know that the grain sedimentation are a great impact on the result of segregation, in particular at bottom of the ingot regarding the negative segregation. So this is also another feature on which we are working. The electromagnetic steering, so we are talking about electromagnetic steering for a long time now, but it's not available yet for different reasons. One of them is that we need to couple two different solvers. The one is the fluid flow solver coming from Tarcast, and the other one is the injection solver, which is used in Forge for the injection heating. That is also the same solver giving the Lorentz force coming from electromagnetic steering, and this last solver has been improved a lot this last time. So in order to take advantage of this new improvement, we preferred delayed the introduction of this feature into TerraCast. So not in the next version, but the future version, the version after the next one, it will be available to use EMS feature. Something to be noted also is that we are ready to deliver beta version of this feature for those of you who are interested in testing this kind of feature on your own cases. So if you are interested, come to me and we can discuss about this. Yes, so also technical point of view regarding the new things we are also talking about. So the true user routine, I talked about user script allowing you to code results, but in the future it will be also available to code really behavior, so constitutive equation of the material through user script. Mesh and remeshing, which is something we are always working on in order to really go deeper in the analysis and to be faster and better in terms of prediction. So especially in the multi-thread interaction. We are still working on the multi-thread modeling in order to take into account the interaction between the slag and the mole flux and the molten steel in continuous casting, infiltration in between the mold and the solid skin also, and mole flux bags in a filling for the ingot casting and many other applications. So these are already available in, I would say, restrictive application because of result of a R&D project which is finished, but which result here is not as expected. So we try to extend the capability through a new one that we try to mount in order to really be completely happy, I would say, with the result coming from this project. And I think it's the last one, the automatic optimization feature, which is something we are also working on through the Forge also team development, because we are sharing, as you know now, for a long time, the same interface. So the new optimization model is coming or will come with Forge, and then it will be also available with TerraCast. And two others also very interesting feature that we are working on is the loss form casting process. So this is launched with a partner, automotive partner, PSA. Actually, which is working a lot on this feature. So loss form casting will be also something we will be working on. And VIR and ESR, it's another kind of casting process that we also think about, and we were already talking about that last user meeting, and unfortunately it would have not been possible to launch this so far. So we are still working on this kind of project, because we need to gather industrial partner interested in these features. Okay, and this is my conclusion. So as conclusion, I would say that TerraCast NXT 2.0 is the direct continuity of the 1.0, but faster, enhanced, easier, richer. And all what we are doing is always to fulfill customer demand, and also the fact that we want to enlarge our potential market addressing. So for example, currently we have a PhD thesis who is working on cosmetics in lipsticks fabrication with the software, and also glass forming, another one which is working on glass forming, so with TerraCast. which are quite different to what we used to do in alloy and metal casting, but it is also working with this different material. And thank you for your attention.